Hi! I'm so happy that you are here because I am a 23-year-old old woman, basically, that feels like I have gone through many years of life and have just the most important advice to give to you youngsters. So, let's get into this because I truly believe that it is some of the most beautiful times in your life and the hardest times to be a teenager, and these are just some of the things that I wish that I would have known. So I hope that they help you, and I hope you have the best year of your life starting whenever you go back to school. Let me know down below when you go back to school if you do. Or the first thing I want to talk about is that you are a completely different person every single day. I think we're constantly changing. So if last year was horribly wrong, if something was blown out of proportion, or if something went so horribly that you are kind of dreading going back to school, or you fear what's going to happen, what people are going to say about you, I just want you to know that it is a completely different year. You have changed. The summer has changed you, or even if it hasn't done a ton, you are still in a different mindset than you were then, or at least I hope. And that means that it doesn't matter what they say, because that's not you anymore. Who that was in the past, you have chosen to overcome that and be a better person or a different person, or just not be the same. And so if they are continuing to put you down for something that happened in the previous year, that is on them. They're in the past. You are in the present. You are working on a future, that you are better, that you treat others better, that others will treat you better. Because if you demand respect from others and they don't give it to you, that is on them and not you. It is also very okay to express yourself in ways that others don't understand. There were many times that I would wear things to school or say something that was a little weird that other people didn't understand, and I had to learn that that wasn't their fault for not understanding, but it also wasn't my problem to describe it to them or to make them understand. It is who you are at your core, and if you feel comfortable wearing a certain outfit, or if you are a male and you want to wear nail polish, or just whatever makes you feel the happiest, nobody else has any right to say that you can't do that or you are odd for doing that. They can say it. If you are not abiding by the school dress code or the rules of the school, of course, they can tell you no. But if it's schoolmates that are giving you a hard time about what you were wearing or how you act or what you do, and it's not harming anybody, and it's just your way of expressing yourself, go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong with having somebody think you're weird or having somebody not understand you. I spent so much time putting myself into a tiny little box that everybody else was in so that nobody could say anything bad about me, that nobody would make fun of me. And I learned after school that I was miserable being that way. I wanted to be able to express myself. That's how I was the happiest, and it didn't matter if anybody else got that or not, because it was my happiness that mattered. Also, if you are in between friends right now, or if you and your friend that you had last year at school are not really on the best terms and you're afraid you're gonna have no friends, I promise you that the right people will come into your life at the right time, and don't just cling to someone because you're comfortable with them or because you think that there's going to be drama or tension. If you don't, it's a natural thing in life to come and go in people's lives, and sometimes friends are not meant forever, and sometimes your values, your ways of looking at life change as you grow, especially because you're growing so much as a teenager. You can't just let yourself be confined by other people and their growth when you are also growing as well. Now let's talk about partners. Boys, girls, anyone who identifies as anything. Humans, if you have an attraction to someone, a lust, what you think is a love, I can tell you that it's not always love. I'm not going to sit here and say that teenagers can't fall in love, that it's not real, because I do think, love can be any age. Of course, if it's consensual, if it's an appropriate age, if it's legal, but it can be love. But what I'm talking about here is when you feel like you are inadequate for not having someone in your life, and you're constantly lusting over people and not really seeing if they're the best fit for you or your life or your goals, your intentions. Because even as a teenager, you can have goals, you can have dreams and aspirations. And if you are letting somebody take over your thoughts all the time, and it's very easy to do as a teen, it's something that can be very distracting. And are they helping you? Are they worth it? Are they worth the heartache that could come? And you could say, sometimes it's something you have to go through to figure out if they're worth it or not. And that's very true. But I just want to make sure you guys are being okay with being single. I know that there is a lot of people who aren't willing to be single because they see their friends in relationships and they feel weird for not having that, and they just want to be a part of it. And that was me as well. And I was single pretty much all through school, boy crazy the whole time, but I was single. And it was hard because all of my friends had these long-term boyfriends, and they seemed to have such an amazing time and connection, and I could never find that connection with somebody, and it's something that was very important to me. And people were constantly saying, why don't you have a boyfriend, trying to set me up with people. And although I wanted one, I had to learn that it mattered more if they were right for me rather than if I just had a boyfriend. It didn't matter that I was single. It mattered that I was not being in a relationship with the wrong person. There can be many types of, especially boys in high school, that will take advantage of you and your innocence and your heart, and because they are not ready for what you are ready for. And it can go both ways, both genders. It can, be the same genders. But you just really, really have to be careful and not guard your heart to the point of putting up walls, but guard your heart as far as what you believe you deserve, your standards. Make sure to keep those standards high, even as a teenager, because you still deserve that. You deserve everything you want. And just because you're young doesn't mean you can't get that. Now, let's move on to peer pressure. This is something I feel very passionate about because I truly think it's the worst thing in the world when you're a teenager. Peer pressure makes you feel like you are the only person in the world who is not doing what everybody else is currently doing, and that if you don't, you will die alone, you will die a loser, and you don't deserve anything. And I'm here to tell you that is the complete opposite. You are not alone in whatever you don't want to do. Say you're at a party, everyone's drinking, you've chosen not to drink, and everyone's saying, come on, everybody else is doing it, don't be the party pooper, you're the only one, come on, stop it, just drink this, it's not that bad. If your choice is to not drink, your choice is to not drink, and just because you're the only one at the party doesn't mean you're the only one in the world who hasn't done that. And stick up for them. If anything else, tell yourself there's somebody else out there right now who is saying no to the peer pressure, and I'm going to join them so they're not alone. Because you will feel so much better about yourself. It may feel great in the moment to say, okay, yeah, go ahead and give me that, I'll drink it. And then everyone else is like, yeah, go you for falling into our peer pressure. But at the end of the night, you're going to say, I wish I didn't do that. Because once all of the cheers and applause fades away, you're left with yourself and your own thoughts, and that's not a great feeling. When you know that you decided to give up your own personal integrity for other people and they forced you to do that. It's the worst feeling in the world, and please don't do that. It doesn't matter if you are the only person. You're not harming anybody by not drinking, by not doing what they want you to do. Okay, and for any of you who are getting into high school, or possibly even seniors in high school the last year, I want you to know that college is not the only answer. If you are struggling on a class, if you failed a test, it is not the end of the world. I promise you, you can still reach your goals. You can still be successful. And the fact that the education system makes you feel that if you don't get a 4.0, if you don't go to a very expensive private college, that you will be homeless, that you will work at McDonald's your whole life, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. They're making money. They're supporting themselves. The education system does make you feel that if you don't go on a certain path that they have laid out for you, there is no chance for you. And please never fall for that, because that is something that, first of all, lands you in a lot of debt. Second of all, it doesn't make you happy because you're going somewhere because you feel like you have to, not because you want to, not because you know your passion, not because you know what you want. And please, if anything in this life is going to make you happy, it's because you want to do it, because you're passionate about it. And that's something we are all forced out of for convenience, for knowing that we are stable. And that is why we're all miserable. Don't fall for that lie. Don't fall for it. Be the best you can be. But if you can't be the best, that's okay. Also, I just want to throw in here for any of you with social anxiety, presentations, they do suck. But I can tell you they suck for everyone, even people without social anxiety. Nobody loves to get in front of classmates that will probably make fun of you for something you do and talk to the entire class. So when you are up there, do not think that you are the only one with social anxiety, the only one who can't do it, because I guarantee you someone else in that classroom feels exactly how you're feeling, and probably most of them are looking at you and not judging you, probably not even hearing you speak. They're only thinking, I have to go next. Oh my God, and they're freaking out for themselves. So it's really, it sucks. And for people with social anxiety, I'm so sorry that we force children to do this even when they are so incredibly uncomfortable. But just know that nobody's judging you. And if they are horrible people, because they can obviously tell you're struggling, and that means no empathy. And you don't want to be like them anyway, so that's fine. The same with people who are judging you or who are talking bad about you, or who you think are talking bad about you. You see somebody staring at you across the lunchroom, don't immediately think they're talking about me. Maybe they are saying they love your shoes, or maybe they are saying, dang, she looks so amazing, she looks so confident, I wish I could be that way. Or maybe they're just spacing off. Don't immediately go to the worst thing, because it's something we can all do, but it's not necessarily always the truth. And we get ourselves all worked up, overthinking and anxiety, and just take a deep breath, think the best case scenario, and go from there. Now, this is one for the people who join sports in school. Now, there's always, at least where I was from, was a junior varsity. So the varsity was up here and the junior varsity was below them, as far as like talent and ability and all of that. And I just want to let you know that if you try out and you get a junior varsity, it does not mean anything. You're no less than them. Yeah, maybe they were a little better at you than sports, but your worth is no less, and you tried, and that is incredible. And maybe you can make varsity next year. Maybe you're okay with junior varsity, but it's okay to not be the very best at everything. It's okay to be a little mediocre. And it's okay to work yourself up from there, because honestly, my favorite kind of people are the ones who aren't the best at first and who worked their butts off to get to where they wanted to be, rather than ones who are always just the best. That's no fun. In any success story, you don't want to be the person who always had the success. You want to be the person who struggled to get there. That is who people respect. Another thing is for you with a shy personality. It's okay. It's not a flaw. If everyone says you're the quiet person who never talks, okay, that's fine. That's your personality. It doesn't matter. If they call you weird, take it as a compliment. If you don't want to speak, you don't have to speak. It's okay in whatever form you come in, or whatever form you identify as, whatever type of personality you put on, as long as you're not harming anyone else, as long as you are true to yourself, and you are doing it because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself, but because you love yourself, then it's fine. You are exactly how you were supposed to be, and if somebody doesn't like that, they don't have to be around you, and it's as simple as that. Don't ever hide yourself to make others more comfortable. That is something I'm hugely passionate about. You deserve to be comfortable in your own skin and your own body and your own identity, and that's for no one else to decide. Another thing is, don't ever dumb yourself down to get on the same level as others who are not at your level, because they may never be. And if you continue to dumb yourself down, you will never get at the level you were supposed to be because you were waiting for somebody else to catch up who never had the chance to. And that's just the truth. Be your smart self, raise your hand in class, and also don't be pulled into drama that can be stopped with a simple apology. Don't be pulled into the tea and the gossip and the rumors. Just enjoy yourself. Just be the happiest, go luckiest ray of sunshine you can be, because it's really not worth it in the end, and it's all petty little stuff that doesn't matter in the real world. If you think about the big picture and what's actually happening, it's okay. Everything will be okay. Just simply apologize to one another. It's fine. It will be fine. I promise. No matter what kind of mental state you're in, always try to push forward. And these are supposed to be the happiest years of your life, but if they're not, if you've been struggling, if you don't see what everybody else sees, that they're the happiest, if you don't have the happiest of times, if you have been so incredibly sad, know that that's okay. First of all, that not everybody is as lucky to have a wonderful time as a teenager, and maybe it's that you're supposed to have a wonderful time in your 20s or your 30s. Maybe you were supposed to blossom later, and that's okay. And it's okay to have mental illness that stops you from doing those things, even if everybody else says that you're wasting your teen years away, because sometimes you can't help that, and I get that. And I get that it's not something that you were trying to do to be sad at this time in your life. You want to have fun, and it's okay if you can't. But I also want you to try and just let yourself breathe. And to know that you, first of all, are worthy of that happiness if you don't think so, and worthy of having fun. And that if you want to try, go into this next year of school and tell yourself, I'm going to talk myself out of laying in bed every day. I'm going to, and I know it's not that easy. I know mental illness isn't just, it's all in your head. I completely get that. But maybe tell yourself, I'm just going to take it day by day, and on the days where I feel better, I am going to do my best to be more involved in school, or to hang out with a friend, or to try out for that sports team that I've always wanted to. Because you do deserve somewhat of a teenage experience, and don't let that mental illness stop you from having any of that. It doesn't deserve that. You deserve better than it. And I'm so sorry that you've had so many years and so much fun ripped away from you because of your brain telling you either can't do it, or you shouldn't, or you don't deserve it, because you do deserve it. You deserve the happiest of lives. I promise you that. And I hope that all of you out there know that everyone says teenage years are the best years of your life. But your 20s can be too. Your 30s can be too. It's all what you make it. It's all what you want out of life, what you demand out of life. And this is just the beginning for you. You have so many years ahead of you. You have the world at your fingertips. And your success, your happiness, everything you've ever wanted is right around the corner. So don't give up on it. Don't stop walking. Don't stop searching for it. And don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of others. Don't be scared of words. Because words can hurt, but they can't stop you. So I hope that I gave you some advice today. I love you, each and every one of you, so much, and I wish you the best of luck this school year. If you want another one of these advice videos, I would love to do them. If you want it on a specific topic, let me know down below. And just believe in yourself. Believe that this will be the best year thus far. And then maybe it will be. Manifest it. Okay? I love you.